So, I'm still convinced this place doesn't actually exist. Like, the Lord of the Rings were just movies. It's not actually real. But for the purposes of today's stream, we are building a new New Zealand. A newer Zealand. Lockdown has been deactivated. New Zealand's open, boys. Come on in. So we're on the very edge of the world, as you can see, which means you can actually get like a big cutaway segment. We've only looked at this briefly before at the tail end of Russia. I believe with the build site, you can still go a little bit down here. So this is basically additional space for construction. You might be able to do something with this in particular. Please build Old Zealand. Is there an Old Zealand? Like, is that why it's called New Zealand? It's Zealand in the Netherlands. It's in the Nether. We don't talk about it. If we're gonna like dig into New Zealand and there's gonna be like an underground section where it's just like the ancient remains. Sorry for the gigantic nasty red square. I have tried to make Knuckles because echidnas live in New Zealand. Oh, that's incredible. The representation we need. Is RT's favorite word representation. I mean, someone made like a comment on the Africa video of like the bingo card of phrases to look out for whenever we do a Minecraft build. Apparently, one of the phrases I say the most is "look at the size of this lad." There's also me butchering other foreign languages. That's like quite common occurrence whenever we do Minecraft. Oh, we've got early work on a hobbit hole. You don't even need to see more of this to know what's going on here. We seem to have quite a few sheep that are just taking up residence here. Is New Zealand quite famous for just large sheep populations? There are 4 million Kiwis, there are 40 million sheep. Oh god. That's 10 sheep for every Kiwi. That's gonna be a fierce battle if it ever comes down to it. Everyone's gonna have to pull their weight. Every man, woman, and child. Like little Timmy's gonna have to take 10. We have... It's a Kiwi eating a Kiwi. Genius. It's cannibalism. Here is another Eye of Sauron. There's like Sauron's got a few eyes in the region. He's just watching over everything. Oh, there's so many of these. Wait, there is actually a giant Kiwi statue here IRL. I always hoped there would be. Is there actually? There's a subreddit for world maps without New Zealand. r/maps without New Zealand. Wait, what? Even the UN are in on it. Is there like an actual conspiracy that just New Zealand isn't real? IKEA map without New Zealand. Okay, but that's a pretty sad IKEA map though. Let's be real. Like they didn't even connect North and South America. It's like Africa, like the Middle East is just gone. Like they've chopped out so much of Europe. Volcano cutaway, look behind. Oh, this is kind of cool, yeah. Welcome to hell, love Satan. I love hell. Someone else is digging into the world here. The Old Zealand finder. They're searching for it. It's under the ground somewhere. Old Zealand is actually a province in the Netherlands. It's just called Zealand. Flightless birds of New Zealand. Takahi and the Kiwi. Oh, there's like a little congregation. Side fact about the name, the original name for Australia was New Holland. Was it actually? God, what is it with people like trying to found countries and it's like, let's just call it like, you know, 2. Here's Holland 2. Zealand 2. Says the guy who made Earth 2. Yeah, but this is like actual history, you know? Like I'm doing it kind of as a joke. Just cause it's silly sounded. These guys actually did it. I thought it was a good like idea, non-ironically. Island construction is very much underway, which is quite cute. They're expanding the region. The Bob Semple tank, New Zealand's ultimate weapon of war. Does New Zealand have tanks? But they're like a very remote island nation. Where are they gonna send the tanks? To fight the sheep? Oh, look, there's 40 million to 4 million. We gotta produce some weaponry. Oh, Knuckles has come along over here. Look at the big boy. Flat Earth Research Center. Oh, this is perfect because they actually found the edge of the world. Look, it's flat. They said it couldn't be proven. My god, they did it. Oblivion Gate work in progress. Happy 15th to the Elder Scrolls 4. I made a Daedric invasion site in Russia. I'm making one here too. Oh, that is class. I didn't realize Oblivion was that old. Like, Jesus. Now I feel old. There does seem to be a lot of like hellish and demonic structures. Here's just like a black gate at the world's end. Space Station MI4? Spacecraft Cemetery, more formally known as the South Pacific Ocean uninhabited area, is a region in the southern Pacific Ocean east of New Zealand. This is where the spacecraft that have reached the end of their usefulness are routinely deorbited and destroyed. The area is roughly centered on Point Nemo, which is the location furthest from any land. Once the ISS is decommissioned, it too will be crashed in the Spacecraft Cemetery. This build is of the Russian space station, MIR, one of the more famous spacecraft lying here. Oh, that's actually fascinating. Yeah, I never thought about that because, yeah, of course they have to take things out of orbit at some point. So it makes sense to do that in the spot where, you know, there's nothing about. Fun fact for you, relative to body size, the kiwi lays the largest eggs of all birds. It would be the equivalent of a human giving birth to a 30-pound baby. Oh my god! That sounds horrific. New Zealand Rugby, the All Blacks Museum. This has come along now. The original All Blacks, 1905 to 06. This was the first New Zealand team to be known as the All Blacks. The captain, David Gallagher, was born in Ireland. He went on a ship for 13 months as a baby from Ireland to New Zealand, though he got injured before he could play against Ireland. He died during World War I in Belgium. This was the first team to play outside Oceania. On the tour, they won 34 out of 35 games. They scored 976 points and conceded 59. They played Wales, Ireland, England, and Scotland in clubs. New Zealand won 15-0 against Ireland. Jesus. Their game against Wales is considered one of the best games ever played. New Zealand versus Ireland. It took Ireland 111 years to beat New Zealand. Jesus, that was a long rugby match. New Zealand once came back from a 22-point lead in Dublin. I cried that night. The latest match New Zealand won against Ireland 46-14 in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. As an Irish fan, I cried that night as well. Ireland is known as the Big Dog Information Centre, an actual dog-shaped building in the small town of Tirau, New Zealand. Wait, what? It's just like in a small town, it's like there's only like 50 people living there or something. Don't mind the dog, man. Terraria dungeon work in progress. Oh god, he's actually trying to go down as well. Hobbit hole number 482. There are a lot of hobbit holes. But, you know, they're all just so wonderful. That's not really a problem. There and back again, A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. Yeah, there's no way I'm writing all this. Probably for the best. I feel like there's going to be some kind of copyright law if we just transcribe the entire book into Minecraft. The middle of Wellington, New Zealand. Oh, we got like a miniature scale town again. This fishing docks, don't mind the giant kiwi slice. Auckland Sky Tower. Sky Tower facts inside. We sadly didn't have enough room to build the top of the needle. Oh, that's okay, don't worry. Sky Tower is a telecommunications observation tower in Auckland, New Zealand. It's 328 meters tall, making it the tallest freestanding structure in the southern hemisphere, and the 27th tallest tower in the world. There's like, yeah, there's another kiwi, but this time with a hat. I feel like at any moment you can see like at least like 3 or 4 kiwis just dotted around the landscape. Here's the bird. Oh, it's got its bill in now. Royal Spoonbill. We appear to have just the fires of Mount Doom itself constructed next to the Eye of Sauron now. Mr. Frodo. My precious. Tom Holland in Spider-Man costume? Tom Holland Island. Is this because he's far from home? I guess here, exceptionally far from home. Oh, someone made Pacific Log Town. That's so cute. There's one house I remember where there's like the Mirage Island guy. It's like every day you talk to him, he'll just say, I can't see it, I can't see it. Dad, I love how you know it straight away. I mean, I've grown up with Pokemon all my life. Kiwi. Also Kiwi. Hobbit hole. Mordor. There's a diving board there. Sheep. Like Sky Zealand. If you fly up and look down, the islands are in the shape of New Zealand. Trust me. You can see it. Yeah, there's New Zealand. Hobbitwick McDonald's. Oh, this is cute. Fun fact, there are 167 McDonald's in New Zealand. In New Zealand and Australia, McD's are also called Maccas. Really? McDonald's menu items that are unique to New Zealand. The Kiwi burger, not made of kiwi. The Georgie pie. The Boss. A massive McMuffin. The chicken McMuffin. And a breakfast bagel. A chicken McMuffin, is that a thing? The massive McMuffin is the reason they don't have problems. What's a massive McMuffin? Is it just like a really big one? What is in here? Created in 2011, the Tree Church was made by Brian Cox as a garden. Today, Tree Church is still used for weddings and other ceremonies. The chapel itself is made of trees and leaves. It's also surrounded by beautiful gardens. It's mostly birch and shrubs. I recommend looking at it IRL, as Minecraft only captures a little bit of its beauty. Oh, that's kind of cute. Look at this place. Like, that's actually real. That's so cool. Free Bible, take one. I mean, for some people, yeah, like this is the Bible. Flat Earth cruise, we were right. The other half of the boat is on the other side. I mean, like, highlights for this build, I feel at least half of the video is going to be Kiwis. Actually, no, these are different ones. Weka, that's the Kiwi. Liao's Wren, also a flightless bird. Captain Cock, the first cock in New Zealand. School from High School DxD, an anime banned by the New Zealand government. I just lied. The idea that the New Zealand government was talking about anime boobs. Wait, what? Okay, let's just steer clear. This is like the largest structure in New Zealand too. Which is unfortunate. What's Bagel doing this? Anzac Day is a national day of remembrance in Australia and New Zealand. It happens every 25th of April, and it was initially made to honor those in the Anzac forces who served the Gallipoli campaign where they first fought. It is now used to remember all Australian and New Zealanders who lost their lives in all wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations across the globe. Anzac Day became less popular over time in the latter half of the 20th century. However, since the late 80s and early 90s, more interest has been shown again towards the day since. Oh, that is good then. Yeah, it's kind of like reclaiming it. A lot more Kiwi have taken shape, including what appears to be like a robot. Kiwi mech. Oh, that's so menacing. He's got guns for hands. Got a long boy. The Moa. This is the Moa. Ratite. A group of large flightless birds that include emus and ostrich. Moa could get up to 12 feet tall and weigh up to 510 pounds. They were hunted by a species of eagle called the Hass eagle, which has a wingspan of up to 10 feet and weighed up to 33 pounds. The biggest eagle we know of. Sadly, the Moa were hunted to extinction when the Maori found the continent, and without their main prey, the Hass eagle also went extinct. Oh, there's a lot of cool longships that have been set up here, like literally just airships in the sky. Here's the bird parade still. They're all kind of flocking in here. Hail Cupcake Lord of Sheep. Patro deity of New Zealand. No flesh inside. Altar to the shiny Wooloo. We must sacrifice the non-shinies to our Dark Lord. The shiny hunt took like twice the amount of time it would have. Simply because we chose to kill all the Wooloo we didn't catch. Like, we could have found Cupcake like in half the time. Happy 1 year to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh, this game has helped many during 2020. It's also just a really cute game. They made like a little island paradise. Yeah. Here's like Red's ship as well. What the fuck happened to my boat? Yeah, it's shrunk a bit in the wash, but he seems to be okay. That Wanaka tree? AKA that tree every tourist takes photos of. If I like Google search that Wanaka tree. Oh yeah, no, it actually just is that tree. There it is. Yeah, that Wanaka tree. Like, that's even what they call it. If I go to New Zealand, I'm probably gonna take a picture of it too. My very humble home. Welcome to my home. I have one of these in Mongolia. Very humble home. Don't want to draw too much attention to yourself, you know, just modest, live within your means style build. Oh, I recognize this. This is the Wigglytuff Guild. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Place reviews here, I guess. Here's where Diglett checks your footprint. Wigglytuff's Guild. I really enjoyed building this. I know you love Mystery Dungeon, so do I. It's a bit flooded, but the guild has managed. Yeah, Wigglytuff's Guild seems to have hit hard times. They spent all the funds on apples. The Antrim House in Wellington, New Zealand. Welcome. In 1978, it was agreed that the Antrim House would become the new headquarters of the Historic Places Trust. Extensive repairs were carried out over the next few years by the Ministry of Works, and the house was opened by the Minister of Internal Affairs. Alan. His name is just Alan. In recent years, the Trust has carried out various renovations and remains occupied by the NZHBT National Office. Wait, traditional Maori where Nui house? Oh, how do I pronounce that? Where Nui. Is it it's an F sound, is it? Built by Arrow. Info on a Where Nui. This is so colorful. Where Nui is a communal house of the Maori people of New Zealand, generally situated as the focal point of a sacred religious/social area called a marae. The houses are often carved inside and out with stylized images of the tribe's ancestors. Different parts of the building refer to different body parts of an ancestor. For example, the koruru at the point of the gable on the front of the Where Nui can represent the ancestor's head. The mei hai, the diagonal barge boards, signify arms. The tahuhu ridge beam represents the backbone. The heki, or rafters, signify ribs, and internally, the potoko manawa central column can be interpreted as the heart. The Where Nui is typically used in ceremonial occasions and is considered sacred, though it's not a house of worship. Hope you enjoyed. It's actually really cool, and so that entire house is like symbolic of a body. Oh, it's the big boy boat. Yeah, we saw this towards the start of the stream. I've got a book now on it. Maori Waka, built by Jonas. The Maori people were a group of people, part of the Polynesian group, the people group of the Pacific Islands, and are a subset of the Austronesian people. The Maori are native to New Zealand. Polynesians were famous sailors and explorers and would sail in these kind of boats called a waka to get around and discover new islands. The Polynesian navigators would travel at night and use the stars to navigate the Great Pacific Ocean. Polynesians traveled most of the Pacific Islands, and traits of the Polynesian people have been found as far away from New Zealand as Hawaii and even Easter Island outside of Chile, which is a distance spreading well over 7,000 kilometers. As you might have noticed, the Maori Waka sail ship have two separate hulls. The reason for this is because it allows for a wide deck on top with very little drag in the water. Relatively few resources needed to construct these ships, making them rather easy and cheap to build. Additional fun fact, the alphabets in the Polynesian language group are some of the shortest in the world, with Hawaiian only having 12 letters. That's the entire alphabet there. You got your vowels and like just your favorite 7 consonants. Puzzling World, Wanaka, New Zealand. Leaning Tower of Wanaka leans 53 degrees. Very hard to recreate it perfectly, so this is close enough. Also, if you go here, you could take a picture of that one tree. Oh, it's the same place with the one tree. That's a very steep angle for a house. Yeah, like that doesn't feel practical at all. Just out of curiosity, like how many Irish in that live in New Zealand? Because I imagine just because it's so far away, is it common? 600,000 in Irish in New Zealand? I'm sorry, 600,000? Oh, of Irish descent. Jesus, we fucking got around after the famine. The Kiwi. Oh, the chonkiest Kiwi. He's got Skull Kid on him. Wait, this isn't Majora's Moon. It does kind of have that shape. I know in the last stream, well, like the tour of Africa, I said, you know, someone needs to build the moon from Majora's Mask overlooking a continent. But honestly, like a giant kiwi bird just terrorizing New Zealand, I think I prefer that. There's an underground that they've set up. Oh my god. Underground society. Oh, this is cool. I'm glad I spotted this before the stream was out. GM presents Hobnet. Oh, so that was the big sign up above. Good luck getting back up. It's just an open pit. I've absolutely loved what I've seen here. Like, this is like a very kind of cozy, just build area. It was so far removed from everything. We're at the edge of the world, and it just looks pleasant.